Hello from cloudy Arizona. Nanook and I are here to say hello to you. I am Linda and I am here today taking a break for inspiration mostly. I love nature and we're going to go inside and do one of my favorite projects to do. We're going to work with the Aeon Mira 7S Pro Laser. It is a Pro series and it creates some wonderful things. Let's go inside and get to working. Okay, welcome to my office area, which happens to be my computer right next to my Aeon Mira 7 laser. So we're using Lightburn today. We're going to use our Aeon laser and we're going to create one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite projects actually is to do wildlife. I'm just going to pull over from a screen the image that I want to use. To do this, I'm going to actually do it on a piece of maple. I'm going to change the size and I'm going to make it about 6.125 inches by 6.125 because I want to do it on a square piece of maple that's about half an inch thick. But before I run this on my maple, what I want to do is a test on my material type that I want to use so that I can see the different shades of color. It may be a black and white image, but we all know that's not what the laser is going to do. So I can go up here to Laser Tools, and I can go down to Material Test. On Material Test, I can select a preset for a CO2 laser, which is what my Aeon Mira 7 is, CO2 Test Engrave, because I'm going to do engraving. And it comes up with these wonderful selections that are already there for you. You don't have to do a whole lot. So that's right this second all I have to do there. Next I have to go over to my laser and I have to put some material in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a material test on my maple, which maple is what I want to use. So I'm going to bring out head over the material. I am going to set focus. Material bed rises up, touches the pressure plate on material, goes back down to the ideal setting for maple. For this particular thickness of maple, let's put it that way. I'm going to move the head over to about the side where I want to start. Back in the corner, hit origin, and then on my software on my computer, I'm going to hit frame. And it shows me where it's going to print. That's ideal. So now what I'm going to do is on my software on my computer, I hit start. Now it's just going to start. It's going to go test pattern, test grid on maple. I can actually save this piece of maple for later use to kind of see how the different settings will work. It gives me a good starting point. It's not perfect for every single piece of wood because every tree is different, so every piece of material is going to be a little different and show different shades and stuff like that. So just kind of use it as a guide and go from there. So we're going to let this run for just a few minutes and then we will go on to our design. In here and take this out. And there's what we've got. So we've got, what it did is it showed us that on maple, we could have everything from next to nothing all the way up to really deep and really dark. And it does go really, really deep. And we're going to decide how deep we want to go. Now for my raccoon, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say I probably want shades really light for the whitish areas. And I want to go fairly dark. So my darker areas are going to be over here. So I'm going to want to set my speed approximately, we're going to say 250, or let's go 200 so that I can get my light for speed. And we're going to go to a power of about, I'm going to say 80 to get my dark color. So that's my deal. But you just look at this and you know for what you're doing about the settings that you want to go speed-wise and power-wise, but that's also going to vary how deep it is. Like these are hardly deep at all, whereas that is very, very deep. So it all depends on what you want to do. So next we're going to go back to our software. We're back at our software. We're going to close out our material test. We're back to this little guy here. First off, I want to adjust my image slightly because of what I'm doing. And in here where you can adjust your image, and all I did was right click on it to bring this up. There's my original, and here's what it would look at. And I can change it for lots of different settings. See, I can do threshold, I can do Jarvis, which I love to do for photo engraves of people. Where I want a little more texture though, and I want to go deeper, I'm going to go on this with grayscale, and it doesn't look a whole lot different. I could change other things too, but I'm going to leave it just like this. So next I'm going to click OK. My photo's ready to go. It's to the size I want, but I need to set the settings. So I'm going to come over here in the right hand corner, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and I decided with that test that we did right there, I'm going to decide that on this I want a speed. I decided I want 250, and I want a power on this of 80. I think I'm going to change that to 85 for maximum, and a minimum power, and that's for the very, very light areas of my design. I'm going to go a minimum power actually of 1, because I want just a little bit, not much. So then what I'm going to do is I've got all my settings in. Because I have a filter attached, I have to turn my air off. So I'm ready to go. I have my power, my speed set, I have my power set, I have my minimum set, because maximum and minimum is going to go back to this grid again. So we're going to get that in now. Next I'm just going to send it to my laser. And I'm also going to do one other thing. And we're going to send this to Racoon. And it's sending my file. While it's doing that, I'm going to go over here on my down in the bottom right hand corner. Well, it's not going to let me while it's doing that. So what I'm going to do is I have camera control up here in laser tools. You can, or excuse me, in window, you can have camera control. When you have camera control, it's going to display to a camera what it is that you're actually printing, and you can have that on your PC screen. Okay, it sent that to my computer, but I'm going to bring this camera control window over here, and I'm going to make it a little bigger so that after a while I can actually watch it on my computer screen if I'd like to, and I can bring it right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the computer, so let's go back over there. Okay, now what we're going to do is get to where we really want to be, so we're going to lower the bed down, because of the fact that I want to put in a scrap piece of material underneath this. I put this here because this is 6 inches by 6 inches. I told it that my size is just a little bit bigger because I actually want to hit the very edges and I want to make sure I'm there. So I want the scrap to catch any excess for it. So I just put this in here, and I'm going to bring this back over my material and set focus. Just like we did with the material test. It lowers back down, but now it's compensated for that. So now what I'm going to do is bring this to the front because I got to line it up. So I'm going to actually take this near my edge, bring it to the laser beam right there so that red actually hits the edge of my material. Then what I'm going to do is move this over that way to the other corner. And I'm going to hold this down while I move the other side just a little. Get it in there until, again, the laser beam is just right there. It's hitting on the edge. It's hitting on the edge here. That way I know it's parallel to the laser head. And I'm going to take it back here. And I got to set it up for the origin, which means that I got to set it right where I want it. Just a little more that way. Right there. I've got the laser beam touching right on there. So that's where I want that, actually. Okay, now the laser beam is back there. I'm going to hit that origin button to tell it that's where the origin is. Just to make sure that I'm where I want it to be, I'm going to hit the frame button, and it's going to go completely around. And it looks like I was just a little off, so I'm actually going to move it that way just a smidge. Reframe it. A little bit more. I'm still a little off. The wonderful thing about frame is it lets you actually see when you're going to print. There, I'm over to the edge just slightly on all the sides. That's exactly what I want for this because I want it to actually kind of give it a wrap image. So once I've got it where I want it, it's beautiful. Now I'm going to close it up. And now I'm just going to come over here and I am going to hit start. Just like that. So we've got done with this side of it. What we're going to do is move that back out of the way. And I'm going to open this up. Now, if I wanted to do a second pass on it, I could. I just wouldn't touch it. I would just go and do a second pass. I can change my settings, whatever I want to do. Since that's not what I want to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pick this up and show it to you right now. It doesn't look that great, but with a little sanding, it's going to look wonderful. A little sanding, and let's make this happen. Hi there, so we're going to wrap this episode up today. This is how I make things going from my Lightburn, a graphic design or photograph or whatever I want to use, into my Aeon Laser, and this is the end result, this beautiful raccoon. It's 3D, it's deep engraved. If you go nice and slow and deep, you get a wonderful engraving. You can even feel his whiskers. He's so cute and adorable, and I hope that this encourages you to make something extra cool that you enjoy today. For me, I want to get back to having fun now. Thanks and have a great day.